Hi, my name is Nicolas Ortiz. I was an intern at Humboldt Physical Therapy in Calallen, Texas. Okay, so the site is located in Calallen, Texas. If you've ever been to Chili's in Calallen, you may have seen the building. The parking lots connect and they're right across from each other. They're very like hand in hand close. But you'll notice if you've ever been there that it's not a very big building. It's a small clinical setting. The work is usually fast paced and we see about 150, maybe 200 patients a day when we're open. And so, yeah, it involves a lot of walking and multitasking and such. The responsibilities involve patient care. So we look after patients when they're there for their session and they're going through their program. We set them up on treatment if they need it or if it's prescribed to them by their PT. We guide them through their exercises and we focus on proper form or we correct their form and we keep track until they're finished with the whole program for that day. Some of my goals there was to learn what patient care is because when I started, I had no experience. I wasn't even aware of what I would need to do. And so I got to learn that. And I learned that it takes a lot of communication skills. And I didn't have very much of that at the beginning. But it's gotten better over time during my experience there. So it has helped a lot. I also got to learn the purpose of each exercises, what muscles are being worked, why we are working them, how is it beneficial to the patient, and such. For example, if two patients come in with the same injury, why is one performing certain exercises different than the other patient? And so it's obviously depends on the strength of the patient and the severity of the injury. So I learned that. And I got to learn treatment modalities. So setting up patients on E-stim and hot pack, learning where to put the patches at, what the machines are doing, why they're prescribed that, and yeah, so I got to learn a lot there during my time there. There's a lot of great experiences that happen there. Patients usually during their first week they're super grouchy and because they're in pain and their strength isn't up, So the great part about it is whenever the joy comes out of them when they improve and they're able to walk on their own with just a little help until the point where they don't need us anymore. And so seeing the joy that comes out of them is it's a great feeling. There was this one man, his name was Van. He was one of those patients, very grouchy for a while because he couldn't do much and he couldn't move around as freely as he wanted to. And I think he was a veteran, so he was a tough guy. Um, he came in with a walker, and he eventually improved over time to a cane. So he was a little more able to walk around on his own, but he still needed some help. And so after time, I was scheduled in the back for a while, I guess, because I felt like I hadn't seen him in a while during his program, and so I assumed that he was done, like he was done with us, or yeah. Until I eventually got scheduled back in the gym, and they said that he was released, like he was good, he was walking fine and everything. Like okay, well that's cool. And then I remember one day my coworkers and I went out for lunch, um, and we saw him. He was walking perfectly fine, no walker, no cane, no nothing. It was just out in public, and he noticed us, so he walked over and shook all of our hands and thanked us a lot for everything we did for him and helping him get better. And he even offered to pay for our lunch. And so that was an experience that I'll never forget. One of the most challenging experiences I've had there was working with kids. I learned that they're very hyper, that they have the attention span the size of an ant, and they take a lot of patience. So that was tough. Most of the time we have to work with them one on one, do their whole program with them, stay with them the whole time. Because if not, then they probably won't get anything done, really. And then another challenging experience that I faced was it was towards the beginning of my time there. Uh, it's a fast work pace there. Like we have to multitask a lot. We're seeing three, maybe four plus patients at a time, and yeah, so that took some time adjusting to. Something I would do differently is try to learn as much as possible. I mean, I did learn a lot from my time there, but I could have definitely learned more. There were some days where the day's dragging, it's slow, it's not busy, and I chose to take a break like everybody else. But I should have taken that time to ask way more questions than I already was, and just try and expand my knowledge. So that's probably something I would do differently. Actually, it is something I would do differently. Some important lessons that I learned from my time there was to have more confidence and patience during patient interactions. With confidence, you are able to build a trust with the patient, and then they will trust you to take care of them, that you know what you're doing and that you're there to help them. And having patience is important too, because it's a fast-paced um, setting. So, and some patients, don't move very fast, and so there's certain times where patience is probably the best course of action to take. And another important lesson is that the patient's experience is the main priority. So we need to give the patients a good experience, because with a good experience, then they will enjoy getting better. And it kind of takes some pain away. Because if they have a bad experience, they're just going to focus on the pain and complain. But yeah, giving the patient a good experience has been an important lesson I've learned.